We are covering all of these Borderlands games in a very weird order, but now we have arrived at the black sheep entry in the series. Part prequel and part sequel to the best game in the series, Borderlands 2, we have the companion game in the Handsome Collection, Borderlands The Pre-Sequel. This game tells the tale of what happened in between the events of Borderlands 1 and 2, specifically the fall of a hero named Jack, and the rise of a villain named Handsome Jack. When this game came out, I don't think it was received quite as well as Borderlands 2, and in fact, the studio that made it, 2K Australia, closed down shortly after. This game is often seen as lesser, and in some respects I can agree with that, but in many other respects I think it's awesome. You play as the villains for once, which is always cool. The OzKit jetpacks are an amazing way to get around. You get a much needed context for what happened between the events of BL 1 and 2, especially when you play the DLC, and I could go on, but you get the idea. I think this game is underrated. However, I think the trophy run for this game is very rated. I don't know the neutral phrase for underrated, overrated. What I'm trying to say is that this trophy run is just fine. It sticks very close to the way BL2's trophy run works, but is far more obtuse and in some respects more annoying this time, with some missable trophies, some grindy trophies, and some wonky trophies that really remind me of the shit you would find in the early days of trophy hunting. But let's jump into action, Vault Hunter, and I'll explain along the way. This is Platinum Hunters, the show where we take a look at everything it takes to get the Platinum Trophy and whether it's worth the effort to achieve it. I've already got plenty of Borderlands content on the channel, like Borderlands 3 and all its DLC, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and even the Tiny Tina one-shot that they released before Wonderlands. You can check out the playlist and see all the stuff I've created for Borderlands already, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more trophy guide videos just like this one, because you might just find your next Platinum Trophy. The looting and the shooting never ends. This trophy run is going to have you doing a full playthrough in normal mode and then a partial playthrough in the tougher true Vault Hunter mode just to get you to level 50. You will most likely end up finishing that second playthrough while you try to complete all the challenges to level 1. If this is your first Borderlands game and this sounds like complete gibberish, don't worry, I will explain it as we go, although I'm wondering why you're starting the series here. There are class-based trophies, lots of side quest trophies, co-op trophies, and some miscellaneous trophies for good measure. It's even got missable trophies, everybody's favorite thing. There's a little bit of everything and will definitely keep you busy. I recommend you don't choose Aurelia or the Jack clone unless you really want to play as one of them and you understand that your trophy run will be a little bit longer than usual if you do that. If you want to speed run through this trophy run, Claptrap is the best Vault Hunter to go with to optimize this run. We will discuss why that is later in the video. In fact, why don't we start this bad boy right now, and just note that I have more helpful guides in the description below to assist you. We start our pre-sequel adventure with our unmissable trophies, in which there are 14 of them to collect. Most are story related and a few just unmissable stuff you'll get while you play the game. In this game you play as the bad guys, sort of. If you have played Borderlands 1 and 2, you see how perfectly this game fits right smack dab in the middle of those two stories. Maybe I understand the criticism that this game takes a little bit of time to get going, and maybe that's why it didn't resonate with everybody, but I think the story gets pretty damn wild if you stick with it. While you're working for Jack, not yet handsome, you will have many side quests to embark on from various quest givers. And on screen now are 2 trophies you will collect along the way while you're finishing all of the side quests. One of these trophies is on the 30 mark, and 1 for finishing all 60 side quests found in the game. There is lots of hijinks in these missions, and a bunch of them have their own dedicated trophies, which are also on screen right now. This is the list of trophies and side quests you need to beat to collect them. A few of these trophies require more than 1 mission before you get it, and thankfully none of these side missions in the pre-sequel are missable, so you can complete these at your leisure. However, there are 2 missable trophies related to the choices you make in 2 particular side quests you do, and we will cover them now. The first trophy is called Guardian, and to avoid missing this trophy, you will have to kill the Master Poacher at the end of the Guardian Hunter mission. It's found in the Vorego Solitude area and involves capturing guardians in these Pokeball grenade things. It honestly reminds me of Pokemon, and I don't know if that was the joke or not. The next reference is clear as day, and unfortunately it makes this trophy missable and one of the more annoying trophies in the run. It's called Who You Gonna Call? And what you need to do is clear the sub-level 13 mission with 4 players in the party. This trophy is a Ghostbusters callback, and it's trying to get 4 players to use the laser weapon at the same time so it looks like the movie. I appreciate the idea, and in execution, it means you'll need to find enough people to play the mission. This game does have split screen co-op, so you can get at least 2 people in, and then you'll have to find 2 more to play with you. Note that if you're on PS4, both split screen player accounts will have to have PS Plus to go online, while on the PS3 version, online is free and you can make as many accounts as you like. As you're finishing quests and smashing bad guys, you'll be leveling up, and on screen now we have 4 leveling trophies for you to worry about as you complete the game. One thing to keep in mind is that by the time you complete the last boss and finish off all the side quests, you'll only reach about level 35. I don't recommend playing the last level over and over again to gain the remaining levels, as you will start to gain way less XP off those enemies with every level increase. Oh, and I also don't recommend getting a high level player to power level you either. I tried doing that for another player and found out that it will still take forever to level them. Even if you complete the 2 DLC packs, that's still not going to get you to level 50. So my best recommendation and the fastest way to close the remaining gap is to start a new Game Plus run on true Vault Hunter mode, which will give you harder enemies to defeat, hence giving you more XP to level up. You won't even need to do a full playthrough of this mode either. True Vault Hunter mode is your best bet, and everything carries over so you can still complete activities and trophies you haven't gotten yet. For one of those playthroughs, either normal mode or True Vault Hunter, you will have to discover all named locations so you can get the Cosmic Completionist Trophy. This is just a fancy way of saying visit all areas in the game. Each place is split off into smaller regions with a name to them, so you will have to visit all of them. I have a guide below that can help you make that easier for you. Along the way, you'll collect these 3 other name location trophies that are displayed on screen right now. These locations listed have to be visited for the bigger trophy anyways, so you'll be getting these trophies pretty naturally. Shout out to the hidden location in Stanton's liver that takes you to this trippy Iridian cube. I dare you to touch it. Go on, do it. The 4 main Vault Hunters, Wilhelm, Athena, Nisha, and Claptrap, yes, you get to play as Claptrap in this game, each have a trophy dedicated to their class action skills. These are the trophies on screen now, and 2 of these trophies are dead simple to unlock, while 2 of them are a little bit trickier. The first 2 are simple in that you have to get 100 kills with Wilhelm's robot wolf and 100 kills with Athena's shield throw, which reminds me of Captain America. You can upgrade the shield to bounce off multiple targets, which is why I ultimately chose to play as her. Wilhelm is an OP beast though, so getting his kills are easy in just a matter of time. But for Athena, her shield only does damage by taking damage first, so you'll want to invest in skills that increase her damage or increase the duration of the shield charge before she throws it. Nisha's Showdown trophy is a bit tricky, but with the right skills and the right location to pull it off, you can do it. The trophy takes seconds to pull off, but it takes a lot of prep first. You'll need to be at least level 15 so you can spec into the skills, Saddle PP for more damage, and Ruthless for more showdown duration. Then go back to Serenity's Waste and go to the big open area where there's a bunch of these enemies called Kraken. Every time you kill one of them, you'll add time to your showdown, so you'll need to gather a crowd of them and then use your showdown ability. If you nail 10 of these Kraken before the effect wears off, the trophy is yours. And now for Claptrap's ability, which is the most random and convoluted one, plus it will require more co-op play. This trophy was hella annoying to collect, and I kinda wish I played as Claptrap from the very beginning just to work on this dumb trophy. You will need to use Claptrap skills called VaultHunter.exe and cycle through every variation of it at least once. Every time you proc the VaultHunter.exe skill, you will randomly get one of these variations that range from getting a buzzsaw weapon, getting pirate ship cannons, turning into a bouncy rubber duck, and other insane shit. There are a total of 15 variations, which includes 7 default variations that are more often to show up, 2 that are exclusive to the green side of the skill tree, 2 exclusive to the blue side, and 2 exclusive to the red side, and the kicker, 2 that only show up when you're playing in co-op. If you could only see how sour my look was trying to get this trophy. Okay, let's solve this problem by taking it one step at a time. First, you will need to get your Claptrap to level 25 because that is the level that will get you enough points to get to the bottom of any of the skill trees. If you're not playing as Claptrap for your main run, I recommend getting a second controller and power leveling your Claptrap, or having a friend who can help you power level till you reach level 25. Then you will need to go into the green skill tree called Boom Trap and add your points. Make sure you invest until you add both of the skills I am rubber, you're glue, and living near the edge. Now go out and start using VaultHunter.exe to cycle through the skills. Here is the list of the default ones plus 2 you get from the green skill tree called Torg Fiesta and Pirate Ship Mode. You will need to use each of them once, and it's random, so keep track of which ones you have used. Now go to the new use station and reset your skills. Now place your points down the blue skill tree titled I love you guys. Fuck off, Claptrap. Grabbing the 2 skills, kick him while he's down, and you're going to love me. Then use VaultHunter.exe until you use the 2 new modes, Clap in a Box and Gun Wizard. Then do the exact same thing for the red skill tree called Fragmented Frag Trap. Unlock these skills Triple Clocked and Rainbow Coolant to get the One Shot Wonder and Laser/Rainbow Inferno modes. The last one comes in 2 variants, but you only need one of them for it to count. Okay, so that's 13 of 15 modes. Now we just have the co-op ones. This is way easier to do with 2 controllers, and get used to me saying this over and over again in this guide. These 2 co-op VaultHunter.exe modes are called Metabot and Nonsensical Sacrifice, and not only do they appear randomly in co-op, but also only appear when the team's health is low or when you have downed players. So in order to pop these, you're going to need to find a spot where you can decrease your health to critical levels. There is a spot in Triton Flats that is perfect for this, and it's located in the ice area beside where the Loon Stalker and his dad are located. Real talk, blowing up his dad never gets old. But get both players to step on the ice until their health is down to critical low levels like 50 and under. Then you can kick in VaultHunter.exe to see if you get the Metabot. It's not always guaranteed, but with your health so low, it has a higher chance of appearing. Sometimes the nonsensical sacrifice mode will pop under these conditions as well, but sometimes it will only pop when a player is actually down and you, as the player yourself, have 50 points of health or lower. Keep trying this way until you get both of these modes to pop. That is a full explanation of how you can get this one single trophy, just one. We still have half the trophy guide left. Yeah, this trophy is a pain if you don't know exactly what to do to get it, but at least now I know you can get it if you just follow this guide. Onward we go for the rest of the trophies. We have 2 more co-op trophies to collect, and thankfully this time they're quick. The first one is called Mouth to Mouth, and it's for reviving 10 players using oxygen. Instead of pressing square to revive someone the old-fashioned way, use the triangle button to use oxygen to revive them. It's a much faster way of picking up your buddy, provided you have oxygen in your Oz kit. The other one we have seen in many Borderlands games before. It's called The Duelist, and you will have to win a duel against one of your party members. If you melee a party member and they melee you back, that will activate the duel. Then gun them down before they get you, and the trophy is your reward for the victory. Now we have a baker's dozen of miscellaneous trophies to cover, many collected out in the field, but some in this game's version of Sanctuary called Concordia. Let's start here. Head over to Moxie's place, the up over bar, and get some shooters in. For the Moxie Sampler Trophy, you'll need to try all of the moxtails that you can drink if you spend a bit of Moonstone dough. Each drink is interesting in that they give you different temporary buffs which can help you, but if you've got Moonstones, dunk all 8 of them for the trophy. Just across the street, you'll find the Grinder, which can be used to get some really great artillery. 3 weapons go in, 1 comes out, at a rarity dependent on the weapons that went in. So for the Expensive Taste Trophy, you need to get a legendary weapon to pop out of the Grinder. The easiest way to do this is to throw in 2 legendary weapons and a purple to get a guaranteed legendary out of the machine. But that might not be feasible if you don't want to give orange weapons up, so you can also throw in 3 purples instead, and while the chances aren't guaranteed, at least you don't have to give up your orange weapons. But before you grind those purples, make sure you get the That Tasted Purple trophy. This is for wearing gear that is purple rarity or higher. So that means your 4 weapon slots, your shield, your class mod, Oz kit, and your grenade. You'll for sure get this trophy in the late game or in your true Vault Hunter mode playthrough. Keeping with the gear and weapon theme, the next trophy we'll look at is the Lunar Looter Trophy, which you get after opening 10 Moonstone chests. These are those blue chests that cost Moonstones to open, but have a better chance of giving you much better gear. It's a simple trophy to collect over time, just make sure you keep at least 40 Moonstones on you at all times, and you'll need to spend 400 Moonstones for this trophy altogether. Now we can get out in the field roaming Pandora's moon. When you are in Triton Flats or any place where you can summon vehicles, get the Pancake Parlor Trophy where you need to slam an enemy to death with the Stingray vehicle. If you use L2 to hover up into the air and then press R2 to slam back down, you can crush most enemies beneath you. Keep doing that until you squish an enemy into a pancake. This is a fun try-hard trophy, and it's called 360 No Scope, the name of the trophy, and many people will get the gist of it just by reading the name. You will need to pull out your sniper, then jump, do a full circle spin in the air, then shoot and kill an enemy while you're still in the air, and of course do this without zooming in. If there is a significant level difference between you and the enemy, it makes this trophy so much easier as you can just blast the enemy in one hit. This next trophy is a weird one, but okay. Who Needs Air is what it's called, and you will have to continually suffocate for 5 continuous minutes without dying. With no oxygen in your Oz kit, you will start to slowly lose health. So you will have to prevent yourself from going down while 5 minutes passes by in this manner. Some Vault Hunters have health regen skills like Athena, who can regen health when her shield is out. But the surefire way to get this is to drink the moxtail that gives you the health regen, and this will definitely make sure you get the trophy. It's funny, but with Claptrap he doesn't breathe air, but the trophy can still be gotten with him. If you just boost around and get rid of the oxygen in your Oz kit, Claptrap will start the process of suffocating, but won't actually lose health, so after 5 minutes of not refilling your Oz kit, the trophy will pop. That's hilarious. These next 3 trophies are all a little bit annoying, and there are little tricks for each of them. Let's start with the Elementalist Trophy. For one unfortunate enemy, you will need to set them on fire, freeze them, which doesn't make sense, but okay, let's just go with it. Electrocute them and infect them all at the same time. So essentially apply all 4 statuses at the same time. This can be tricky because you will need 4 guns for each element, then apply them to the enemy, deal with the elemental status, chance percentages, yada yada yada. Forget that. Here is the foolproof strategy. You will most likely find a legendary grenade called the Lobbed 4 Seasons, which is obtained randomly but dropped more frequently from badass Kragans. This grenade will inflict damage of a random elemental status when it's used. So what you need to do is spam grenades on an enemy that is beefier and doesn't have any elemental resistances. This will hopefully pop all 4 elemental statuses on the enemy, and make sure you throw everything you have at it to ensure this happens. This should get you the trophy very easily. Ice to Meet You is another said tricky trophy, but again I got a cheese strategy. You will need to butt slam attack and kill 3 frozen enemies at the same time. Sounds simple, but it can be very finicky, especially if your slam only takes out 2 of the enemies and injures the 3rd. Freezing them can be a tricky task as well. One particular place in Stanton's liver makes life a lot easier, and it's located in the back half of the location where there are train cars and these buggy enemies. There are also a bunch of mushrooms that will freeze anything around them, including you, if you disturb them. So you need to essentially lure a horde of these buggies near a mushroom, quickly shoot it to freeze them, and then you need to aerial slam the frozen enemies and pray that's good enough to kill them and get the trophy. It's better to have a level gap between you and the enemy so the slam takes them out in one hit no matter what. Alrighty. Now, this one trophy is the definition of annoying. Not hard, but definitely annoying. Now we have the Collateral Damage Trophy, where you need to goad an Lost Legion enemy to take out 3 of his buddies. These Lost Legion are usually very strong, difficult to kill, and even heal to full health when they transform. They are like the Goliaths from Borderlands 2, but much worse. So the place I got this trophy was in Vorego Solitude, down the hill of the beginning spawn area. There will be multiple Lost Legion enemies here, and you will need to have one of them turn into a Magus Eternal enemy. The Magus will damage anything around it, so weaken the other enemies and lure the Magus towards the other enemies to finish them off. There are other ways to have the Lost Legion friendly fire their buds, but I think this is an easier way to get the trophy. You don't have to do the trophy just here though, as the Lost Legion appear in other parts of the game. Whew, okay. 2 more trophies left in this pre-sequel trophy run, and one of them is unfortunately another doozy. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this video, and I'm about to really help you close out this obtuse trophy run. Trust me, through arduous trial and error, I have figured out how to streamline this next trophy. And now we get into the last annoying trophy in the guide, and it's called Challenger. What you need to do is complete level 1 of all challenges that have level rankings for one single character. If you tab over to the far right part of the menu, you will see a list of challenges to complete and increase your badass rank to collect badass tokens so you can make your Vault Hunter stronger. For this trophy, you will need to complete rank 1 for all of these challenges, excluding the ones that don't have ranks. That's an important part of the requirements because that means you don't have to go around and find all of the Call to the Vault symbols, which is mighty poggers. This is the same criteria as the challenge accepted trophies found in Borderlands 2 and in the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep standalone game, which we have already covered on the channel. A lot of these challenges will be unlocked pretty naturally so long as you're using different weapon types, grenade types, shield types, and more. Most challenges seem straightforward enough, but there are certain challenges that are going to need further explaining. If you're looking for a full list of them, I have a guide below to help you with that, but I'm going to explain the more complex and troublesome ones that you might get hung up on. Let's start with the co-op trophies, which require either a second trophy or a buddy online. They are super easy to get, and some of them are trophies we have discussed already, but I thought I would just bring them to your attention. One challenge can be missed and can actually make this trophy missable, and it's called OCDC, where you have to complete 5 side objectives from the main and side missions. If you completely ignore these side objectives when they come up, yeah, sure, it's missable, but really this challenge is very hard to accidentally miss. Plus, you can pick it again on your true Vault Hunter playthrough. The Splat and Slide challenge is an easy one to collect, but not everybody knows how to actually do it. You will need to hop in the moon buggy vehicle and power slide over an enemy, squishing them in the process. I found it pretty tricky to pull this off properly, as the power slide isn't an effective tool for killing enemies. So the best thing you can do is to drive backwards and do donuts. Keep the camera fixed forward and it counts as a power slide. If you do this around some weak buggy enemies, you will get this challenge done in no time. While I did say that you need to clear level 1 for each challenge, there's a few challenges that are hidden and will only unlock when you get another challenge to level 5. Yep, that sucks because these are really grindy. On screen are those set challenges and the requirements. You'll have to get acquainted with the shotguns and rocket launchers to get these done, and unfortunately rocket ammo is hard to come by and expensive to buy in vending machines. These are going to be challenges you'll have to go out of your way to do because I couldn't get them done naturally across 2 playthroughs of the game. And finally, the most grindy challenge to complete is the greater than the sum of its parts challenge, in which you will need to get 20 Loonshine weapons from the grinder. These Loonshine weapons are special in that they add these blue streaks to the gear's appearance and give it an extra perk. While you can certainly find them in moonstone chests, this challenge specifically wants you to get them from the grinder, and 20 of them to boot. And guess what? It's completely random. You get a chance to get them, but no guarantee. So not only do you need to expend weapons and moonstones for them, but you can grind them and get a regular weapon and poof, the material is gone. This level of RNG is mighty annoying considering how many moonstones you have to spend. The challenge could have been something like 5 instead of 20. I don't know why they decided on 20 for level 1. So you can grind out the moonstones if you want, but I discovered a way better way to get this done, provided you have, again, 2 controllers. There's no escaping it. Go get a second controller already. What you need to do is log into the second account with the second controller, then start a brand new Vault Hunter fresh with the original weapons they start with. It can be any of the main 4 except don't use Aurelia and the Jack clone. Then with the brand new Vault Hunter, drop the weapons they start with so that your main account can pick them up. Then log out of the second controller, Vault Hunter, create a new Vault Hunter again so you can pass over the starting guns again. Why are we hoarding all of these starting guns over and over? Well, if you use those starting guns in the grinder, you will discover that the cost of the moonstones is 0. That's right, 0. This method completely skips having to grind for moonstones for each of the grinder grinds. So if you don't collect a loonshine weapon from the grinder, that's okay. Create another 2 Vault Hunters, pass over some more guns, and grind them for free. Just keep doing this until you collect 20 loonshine weapons and complete this dumb challenge. Those are all the notable challenges, and if you clear level 1 of every challenge in the menu, you'll finally get the Challenger Trophy, which I think is the most time-consuming one of the bunch. But this trophy run isn't done yet. We have one more trophy to cover, and I saved the coolest one for last. This trophy is called the Gun in the Stone, and it is bestowed upon you if you can pull the iconic legendary gun in the stone known as Excalibastard. Upon reaching Stanton's Liver, follow the cliffside on the left onto a path that will lead you to the legendary weapon. In order for you to be worthy enough to pull Excalibastard from the stone, you need to have a badass rank of at least 2,500 or higher. This is thankfully done by completing challenges. So these last 2 trophies we covered go hand in hand, and you will find the sword gun to indeed be badass because it scales with your current level, meaning it never gets outdated. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this obtuse and very involved trophy run. Like I said before, don't let people mislead you into thinking this is a bad game, because it's just as surprising as Borderlands 2 is, and I definitely think it's an underrated gem. I'll speak about my overall thoughts of the trophy run in a second. So, if you have adventured Pandora's Moon, helped the man become his true unbridled villainous self, got a crap ton of loot, completed all the challenges to level 1, man, who is honestly gonna go and complete all the challenges to level 5? You have to be so dedicated to do that. And collected all the trophies? Congratulations! You will be awarded the Borderlands Defender Round 1.5 Platinum Trophy for Borderlands The Pre-Sequel. When it comes to this game's DLC, a lot of it actually got cancelled, but 2 packs made it. One of them is the Holodome Onslaught DLC, which has 3 trophies that I can cover quickly right now. I've put them on screen now, and in this arena combat focused DLC, you essentially have to beat the 5 regular rounds, survive the badass round, and then beat the badass round without ever going down into fight for your life. The last trophy can be difficult fighting opponents that are around your level, but you can always just finish your character to level 50 on your true Vault Hunter playthrough, and then return to your normal playthrough where the enemies will never be higher than level 36. Then lay the smack down and just be careful not to fall to your death. Super simple DLC if you do it that way. The second trophy set is for the Claptastic Voyage DLC, and this one is getting its very own New Game Plus episode because it's awesome. I'm not being hyperbolic here, and I think this is a top 5 Borderlands DLC, and there are many great DLCs in this series already. So check in the description to see if that video is on the channel if you're watching this in the future. It really is a goodie, and I can't wait to cover it. Overall, I think this game might be the most difficult Platinum Trophy, or at least tied with Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I think that's mainly due to how obtuse it is and involved it really is. While similar to Borderlands 2 in terms of the trophy run structure, I don't remember having to jump through the same amount of hoops in that game that you have to do just to get the plat in this one. I'll be doing BL2 relatively soon, so maybe I'm just not remembering it properly. But the pre-sequel does feel like a lot of work to get this plat. However, if you like looter shooters in Borderlands, getting the plat for this game just feels like another day at the office. There's really some good content here in this game to keep you motivated, especially if you have the Handsome Collection version of the game. The story is interesting and features all the heroes and villains we know and love from the second game. If you get frustrated or confused with some of the more complicated parts of the run, you have this guide to help you. However, it's worth mentioning that the trophy run might not be for everyone, especially if you like a more natural platinum run. Don't worry though, there are other Borderlands plats to get, and I'll be doing them all, so stay tuned. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So I think we've done 4 Borderlands plats now. There are a total of, I want to say 8 Borderlands plats. It would be, the ones we're missing are Borderlands, Borderlands 2, Tales from the Borderlands, and New Tales from the Borderlands. And maybe we're on the verge of something being announced for another Borderlands game at the Summer Games Fest, so we'll see what happens. There might be another one that we'll have to add to the collection, but I'm going to be doing all the Borderlands games, so I hope you guys enjoy the content. Let me know down in the comments section which ones you have and which ones you still need, and of course, I will see you guys in the next video. I hope all your trophy hunting expeditions on Pandora's Moon go incredibly well, and peace out.